we are going to do it quick. What we are going to talk about today is the 7-day moving average. It is, what could happen? Are we going to go further down below? And how low could we go? Or are we not going to go as low as we could go? Very difficult to say, I gotta say, but I do want to make a short comparison to what we saw back in what I like to refer to the first cycle, which was in 2018-19. Obviously, there's been many cycles prior, but that was basically when we started the channel. Thank you so much, Crypto Ali and Shahid Hamid, my soul brothers here. Oh, we will talk right in a few more moments in the little chit chat. So let's get started. I think it goes a little something like this. I want to welcome you to Crypto Never Sleeps on this Sunday evening. In case you're new to this channel, you want to stay on top of the crypto world, do me a favor, hit like, smash, and subscribe so that you can be notified every time we upload new videos, so that you can, and this is extremely important also today, so that you can protect your wealth, preserve your wealth, and ultimately increase your wealth. My name is Nico Arachi, and I'm the host of the littlest crypto channel on the interweb. And that was the wrong transition. We wanted to do this a while. Exactly. We're not going to look too much. What are we seeing here? We're seeing 26,900. That's around 27,000. And we hit the high 27,200 today. So we're slightly above, but it's 0.2 on Bitcoin is not really worth talking about, right? And we got Ethereum 1,800, 1,796. As we can always see in these 15-minute charts, right? Again, and again. We can see that the correlation between Cardano at 36 cents, DOT at $5, and Ethereum and Bitcoin that, we're all here at my time on a Sunday at 6 o'clock, right? We're seeing that that we had a move up. I mean, it's amazing. The market is being rigged, and that's also why I don't think that there is a lot of reason for being very concerned. So what I wanted to point out, and that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys today. First of all, let's look where we are now. Where are we now? Well, we can see here, and we're looking at the weekly with the 7-day moving average. And I've always said, it's been, I should put myself on the other side, right? I mean, standing right there, right in the, and 1 second, let me find myself here. Put me away. Or at least over here. I think that's better. There we go. So what we can see here is that, it has been kind of reliable. Sunday it is, right? I mean, I'm already in Monday where I am. I know Shahid, he's still in Sunday, and I know Vaxi is also still in Sunday. So, I don't see us now jumping in the next 2-3 hours up to above 28,000. So that means that for a long time, since a long time, we're basically closing below and let's say pretty significant below the 7-day moving average. Usually it also doesn't really, I don't pay too much attention to it because we are longer term investors. But what came to my mind, and well, first, if we were to look at the monthly, we've still got another 2 weeks. I know how ridiculous, but hey, we can all look at it together, right? We can see that the 7-day moving average around the monthly has been pretty reliable, and we are still way above. But that doesn't mean that, and it doesn't necessarily mean that people or that you want to rely on that. So what could the potential scenario be? Let's go back to the weekly, and then I want to take you back in time. We go back here, and that is where you can see here we had the high in 2018, right? 2017. And I sometimes also, as we have done a lot in the past, we have kind of tried to refer to the bull market, the Bitcoin's historical corrections, right? And we could see that we saw the pattern from 13 to 15, 14 months. We saw 17 to 18, 12 months, and then this time also around 12 months. So around the 12 to 14 months. Now, and that's also how I kind of, we can see the percentage drops from high to low, 85%, 83, 77, and then 12,000 would have equaled around 81%. Now, all these, history rhymes and doesn't rhyme and repeats itself. We don't know. But we are then also trying to look at the historical bull markets. And there we can see it's always around 1,400 days to 1,461 days. And I still believe that according to these, let's say, history patterns, that we could still be in line. However, and this is what I want to show you. So when we go back here and we look at what happened in 2017-18 from the high, it took us, so if we say that the high was here in December 2017, we go 1 year further down to December 2018, and we can see there we hit a low of 3,200 Bitcoin, right? So this is approximately what we were kind of looking at this year, right? We came from 60, almost 70. 1 year later, we hit around, in November, we hit around the 15,000. When we go back to 2019, so we have it here, you can actually see if you scroll forward 5 months that in March 2020, we had almost a retest of the low that we had here. 1 year later than the all-time high that we had here around 20,000. We went 1 year later, we went down to around 3,500. Then Bitcoin climbed up to almost 14,000. And then quick, you see, and try to look, I mean, I know that the volume here is maybe not displayed so good, but if we look prior to this dip here that we almost, I mean, this is very, I mean, I'm not even gonna call this a technical analysis, but it's more like recognizing maybe a pattern, right? So if we put this here, you see, it didn't go as far down, right? It didn't break, it didn't break the low that we had here in 1 year later from the high in 2017, but almost went all the way down, right? And interesting is if we look at the volume here, low volume, I mean, pretty much lower volume than what we are seeing here anyway. But then this spike down, it was quick, it was intense, a lot of volume. But then when we look, we're going to go further into the future, you can see that then from there, it kind of took off. Now, I think you get the point. I mean, so what I'm trying, I don't know if we're gonna see I mean, I'm still convinced the future of finance is being built right in front of our eyes, and I think long term we got good things to expect. However, the stock market could be in a bit of a trouble, and it could also be that we will see the stock market going down. It could be a quick retracement. So I'm not making any projections here. I'm not saying it's gonna do the one thing or the other thing. I just wanted actually just to point it out. Now, what is also interesting. No, it's not really interesting. I thought let's look at, for example, of course, at Ethereum. Let's see how Ethereum is doing and try to compare. So we can see Ethereum here also on the weekly, also closed below, right? Goes without saying. And it also had the similar pattern back in 2017, 18, 19. You can see there, now we are here back in 18, January, around. You see, Ethereum was a little bit later, right? Bitcoin had its high in December, but Ethereum in January. Anyway, it hit its low there, and 1 year later in December at around, can you believe it, $77? See, we bought Ethereum at $11, so even 77 was still in the money. But when it had just hit 1,500, Kitty was a happy millionaire, and then back at 77, she wasn't so happy. But anyway, so we can see Ethereum then didn't go down as much as Bitcoin did 3-4 months later. Anyway, but it did it a year. No, I'm sorry. Yes, here we are. Wow, right. Yeah. Here we can see that Ethereum also did the spike down. Yeah, that's whatever. And I don't know. Are we gonna see this again? I don't know. What do you think? You see, what is, I mean, not best case, worst case scenario. I think it could happen, but I'm still optimistic for the future, and that is actually all I wanted to say with this stream. A little bit insecurity currently, but still optimistic. Yeah, I wanted to look, because you know I like the big boys, right? So we're looking here at Maker for 1 year, just a 1 year, and see where did. So Maker had its low at 500, which was a little bit later than we saw Bitcoin and Ethereum. Went all the way up to around 1,000, almost 100%, is now at 626. I would think, the funny thing is, I would think if we're going to see this pullback from Bitcoin to 15,000, should it even be, I don't see 12,000. Actually, I should put 15,000. But I think that some of the big quality coins, I don't think that they will go below their recent lows, if that makes sense. I think it should make sense. Now, so I wanted to take one big one, Maker, right? I wanted to look at Cross Network, because Cross Network is it's a small coin, decentralized storage. So Maker is obviously market leader and top quality. I also believe Cross has a lot of potential, but it's still a very small one. You can see here with 8 million market cap. So because I still don't think that we entered the market wrong, because I mean, a market cap of 8 million, how much lower can you go? So I still think that we entered in some of these smaller coins at the right moment. If we go in here and look around November, when we had the low in Bitcoin, we had Crossed here trading at half a cent on the dollar. And even though we have seen in between Crossed reaching $2, it's still trading at 94 cents, which is roughly 100% above the low in November. And I think a coin like this, just like we looked at Maker, I don't think it's going to go below, even if we're going to see a quick crash in Bitcoin, I don't think it's going to go below its previous low of November. I think you catch on what I'm saying. So that's actually all I wanted to say today. But now let's go into Chit Chat and see if there's anybody has any questions, then that's a good thing. And no questions, then that's also a good thing. Who is here? Harvey Smith is here. Accumulating. I like that. I like that you're accumulating. Mina protocol. I'm not, I know too little about it, but I'm going to look into it, Harvey. Thank you for sharing. Crypto Alley. I like that, Crypto Alley. How are you? Loud and clear. Thank you so much. No Faces here. Good to see you. Persian Empire. Jack the Ripper. Who have you been ripping up tonight? And we got the Hamid family. Dennis Van Riem is here also. What do you say, Dennis? You were the one who got us into Unipa. Are you still optimistic on that? Let me know. I did sell a little portion yesterday, and we can see there's not a lot of volatility there. So what do we say here? Blockchain Bully, you're never late. Blockchain Bully, you're still expecting the 12,000, right? And I can see we got Inconu French. And Inconu French, I thank you for your last chat, and where you were asking on which coins we could profit from on Ethereum. And I hope you watched the last stream. It was actually for you. What do you say? No phrase. Are you trading DOT on the way up, or are you just buy and hold, sell at your targets? Yeah, that's a good. First, no face. Well, I would like to consider myself a swing trader, and I think everything that I share here, right? You could call it a swing trader, right? I mean, if I trade sometimes, but I don't share that too much on the channel, because I try here on this channel to make it more of a long-term investment where you can follow what it is that I do. And let me also put it, remember, 90% of short-term traders, they lose money. So I really try to average in, and that's also why maybe my ego a little is going to be hurt a little if we're going to go down to 15 again, but not really. Because when we're going to look back in 2025, and we're all going to be laughing, then I think this was just, today is just a little bit of a hiccup. And it's also, I'm doing this stream today, for example, just more to let you know that I'm not nervous, because I still think that the fundamentals of the overall market are so good. So no, I don't really trade. And but what was, we're expecting soon to get our dots back, because, I put a lot of Betty's dots into the parachain auctions, but they were 2 years, but I think they're slowly coming to an end. Once I get them back, but we talk about that on Polkadot streams, I don't think I'm gonna commit them to any more parachain auctions. But what do you do? Do you trade them? Let me know, and let me know about that. By the way, guys, everything I say and do is not financial advice, because I don't know shit about crypto. Oh my God, if we're gonna see 15 again, and then I can tell you guys there's a new number one in town, and that's Blockchain Bully. New number one. And I will get myself a new t-shirt, call myself number 2. He would have been more consistent and more I don't even know, believing, but it's a risk. I still think it's a risk, Bully, but my hat's off to you if we're gonna see that. So Salona Puri is asking a good question that I really like. Can BRC20 compete with ETH? And let me just have a little sip here. And I think the question, and in case you guys don't know what Salona is asking, is the BRC20 is what we saw like 2 weeks ago. We were seeing kind of NFTs being, or probably still are, being traded on the Bitcoin blockchain. And that has created a hype. Now, fundamentally technically, it's a waste of money, it's a waste of energy. Bitcoin and the blockchain is not really set up for having these mass transactions. That's actually why we got Ethereum, right? That's why I've said so many times, and I'm sure you heard it here first, I've always called Ethereum the settlement layer. And I think you're going to hear that from other YouTubers in just in the next 1 to 4 months. You see, it's just simply not, I don't think that it's practical to do a lot of these BRC NFT tradings on the Bitcoin protocol. I think we're going to see other decentralized applications on Bitcoin that will be catered to really providing services for Bitcoin. And I like Michael Saylor. He came out with a very good, example that, for example, if you were, it could be a decentralized app providing testament, or when you die, for example, wills, right? You wanna give your children your wallet. So that would be a very good application on the Bitcoin network. But I don't think that we're gonna see these mass applications on Bitcoin. I think that is what Ethereum has been set up for. However, and this is what I wanted to, where it's a little bit tricky. In order to achieve mass adoption, we never know where it's going to come from, right? And Bitcoin has established itself in the, among people much more than Ethereum has. So it can be that these BRC 20 NFTs trading, that could be a huge next hype that we would then not be able, or we cannot afford to miss out on. So as we've seen we've seen these meme shit coins take off. We could make a ton of money on that, but a lot of these protocols didn't really have a future. So I think long term, no, it's not going to be able to compete. Short term, it can be that we can make money. That's why it took me a long time here to answer that question, because I'm myself not 100% sure. I hope that gave you some clarity. Risky, and again, when people come in, you never know what's going to be the next type. However, last time I also said we were talking about another thing. We're talking about what is it that what is the current use case of crypto? And I basically said it's only speculation as of now. And that's why we're investing in the long-term expectation that there will be fundamental everyday use cases. And what is the trigger going to be, except the central, the CBDC, that is going to initiate mass adoption? And I do think, and I forgot to say that, I do think that gaming could be a part of it. Because we got a hell of a lot of gamers around the world. And if they can monetize their time playing and earning, I think that would be one of the simplest transitions of the first step of mass adoption. Because hell no, people who has an insurance in the original, in traditional world, is not going to find it any sexy to all of a sudden there's no new value in buying an insurance on the blockchain unless the entire financial system. So we got to look more into gaming, right? Which also, remember, we like Gala games, we like Illuvium. And so I think that could probably be the first. So we were not completely off when last year we were looking at all those IGOs. So let me see, what else? What do you say? Dennis, I followed you into Jupiter. Was not my find. Okay, then okay. Anyway, then okay. I will find out who it was. Anyway, I thought it was you, Dennis. But okay. So what do we say here? Life is a risk. Yeah. Roaming nomad. I minted my body. Let me know more. Crypto is tough. It is tough, but it's the future, right? So I think what we need to do, get a little bit of we have to look at it at this BRC20 because it could attract people. That's it, I think. And what do you say here? I trading dot on the way, so that's it. I follow you. So with no visiting, I bought dot and sell at 20, rebuy at 10, and then up to 100. That's a good strategy. It's a good strategy. Bought dot and sell at 20. 20, yeah, why not? What was the last high of dot? Let's go look. Have a quick look at the Polkadot. I like those dots, but they are slow dots. I think we can all agree on that, right? Polkadot is a slow dot. But patience is a virtue. Are you guys scared now? I mean, Blockchain Bully, he will be dancing if we go down there. So look, here we have Polkadot. I mean, yeah, I mean, if we look at it like that, I mean, what was the low we even had here? Somewhere around. Yeah, I mean, it's very close to its low, and its high was at 50. And it's funny because No Face says it's gonna sell at 100. I think by 2025, I would see Polkadot by 150. And why am I saying that? I simply, if we go in and look at the past history, I think we're gonna see a triple of Bitcoin at least, and then we could even see 4 times, 5 times in some of the other, like maybe even Polkadot. Polkadot has a lot of potential, but I would also, Polkadot. Why don't you buy some of the sexy looking dots that we're talking about? Anyway, a lot of interesting. I mean, it's sure if we can see and Coins Go Live use the site. You can see on the right how low the coins are from the all-time highs, and there's some good ones. Dot is down 90%, right, from its all-time high. Chainlink close to 90%. Cosmos Atom is also, but only 75. Now the Filecoin down 98%. I still think. Also watch the video from Guy from Coin Bureau. He's classifying. He's really specifying the 10 potential industry segments that could achieve mass adoption. And of course, he's also talking about decentralized storage. Look at ICP down 99%. It's been consistently down. ICP is gonna move though. I'm very, very convinced about that. And that we got from our good friend that we haven't seen for a long time around here. I forgot now. One of our admins. Okay, guys. If there's no more questions, then Murky Magdala, good to see you. So that's it. I think better to keep it short than to bother everybody. I love you all. I thank you. And I don't know Pulse Chain. So, if I don't know, better not to say anything. Better just be quiet. Anyway, we don't know so much about anything. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be here the next 4 days live. Every night, the next 4 days, until I have to go back to France. Stay strong, take care, and remember, no plan B, because the future finance is being built right in front of our eyes.